I've created a cult. This is my plan with full honesty. Watch this video in order every single second of the video if you want to be part of my cult. Don't flick around or skip through the video because you won't understand what I'm saying. This one video I want you to watch every single second if you want to be a cult member. Now what you can do is change the setting to watch it at 1.5 times speed just to go quicker. We're going to do something different. I'm going to bring you onto my computer screen. So Sam, can we get a nice editing effect, transition effect? So there's a couple of stages that we're going to go through, and we're going to start with just stage 1. I'm copying Alex Becker, by the way. This is how I got his idea. So stage 0 we're going to start with, and you've already passed this one, but this stage is the pre-self-improvement / my Hamza stage. So this is like when you were unaware of me / or you were unaware of self-improvement, but obviously you've already went past this stage, so good man, good on you. Now stage 1, you may be here. So stage 1 is the self-improvement struggle. SIS, the self-improvement struggle. This is that main rut of depression, of doing all the bad habits. This is one of the worst places to be in life because at this point, you know about self-improvement. You've been binge watching maybe my content, Andrew Kirby's and Better Ideas and Matt Diavella and all the YouTubers. And so you know exactly what you're missing out on. You just can't seem to grasp it. So I was in this stage about a year ago when I was smoking weed every single day. I was jacking off like 6 times a day on 4chan. I was binge eating every single day. My mental health was fucked up. I was spending all day, every day on the computer just watching YouTube videos. And I think you're probably going to be able to relate to me. Either you've experienced this before or you've already went out of this stage, which is fantastic, so we can move on. Stage 2 is where it starts to work. You know, you struggled at first, you were unable to get just about into it for whatever reason. At this stage, in stage 2, you've changed a few things and it actually starts to work. You see very, very small progress. At this stage, most people's mindset is the biggest problem, and they won't admit or feel or know that they are actually consistent, usually because of the ego. And so, you know, they're watching my videos, they're watching everyone's videos, and we're all saying on YouTube, like, yeah, we meditate every single day. And so in stage 2, after you've just been through stage 1, the self-improvement struggle, the depression period, let's say you start meditating. You want to meditate every day, obviously, but let's say you start meditating and you only get about 3 days a week. At this point, it's your mindset that's the biggest problem, because with 3 days a week, you think you're a bit of a failure. So this is the stage where you're going through those up and downs, that roller coaster of existence video that I made. This is that stage. And so you're making progress. And we know for a fact, if you just stay with it, with a good mindset, you will get to the next stages. But many guys, because of those big downs, might actually quit from here. So if this sounds realistic to your situation, you're feeling like you might be in stage 2, you've been seeing a bit of progress, but it's nowhere near the level that you want, and you do feel these up and down days, this is probably the current stage that you are. And I'll even draw like the roller coaster. That's what it feels like at this stage. We're getting through these quite quickly because I don't want to waste your time. So you're just going to see why this is all relevant in just a second. So then we've got stage 3. Stage 3 is beautiful. This is what I call flow. At stage 3, in this point of flow, you're in the flow of things. You still do get up and out, you know, up and down, up and down, up and down, but it's a lot more flatlined. And actually now you're able to see that it's more like this, where you can actually start to see, because you've been onto it for long enough, you can actually start to see that you've made pretty good progress. You can see where you started, you can see where you've ended up. And yes, you know, you've been going through these up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, but you can start to see the general trend is going in the exact direction that you want. This is the beautiful stage, because this is when you start getting confident for the self-improvement. This is when people first start to notice you see a pretty significant difference in your body, your mental health, your education, your mindset's very, very, very much changed from stage 2 and especially stage 1. So this is like a very nice place to be. This stage lasts, I found it actually lasts very, very different depending on the person. You'll see why stage 3 is so independent on each person. Some people stay in this stage for just a couple weeks, couple months. Other people seem to be in this stage for literally like most of the year, the entire year, 2 years. For me, it was a very long time. At this point in stage 3, you know what to do. You've got the plan set out, you've got the behavior tracker, you've been holding yourself accountable, you know exactly what to be doing, and you have this confidence about you because you know that as long as you don't quit, as long as you stay on the same plan, as long as you trust the process, you will reach all of your goals. That's why this stage is a very, very beautiful stage. Now let's move on. Stage 4. I think you guys already know what this is. Stage 4 is self-actualization. So what's happened is stage 3, you were in the flow of things, you had the exact plan, you were just following it for months, years, weeks, who knows, depending on your specific situation. Eventually you reach the point of self-actualization. So there was a video I did of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where there is a pyramid. That's such a shit pyramid. So you got the pyramid of needs and it's broken down. So this one's got like water and sex and food. And then this one is like, let's say, friendship. I'll have a picture, like a real picture of the needs up. But right at the top of this pyramid right here is self-actualization. And so you reach that when you feel like you've done about as much as possible. This is that cliche line of like reaching your potential. And so stage 4 is when you've reached your potential. Now, one thing that many people haven't seemed to clarify is that this is just right now in your life. Like, this isn't going to be for the rest of your life. It's just that right now you've reached your potential. So I can confidently say that right now I've reached my potential. Now, of course, I'm going up and up. And as I keep working on all of this, my potential increases with me. But I've reached the point where I'm doing about as much as I can in terms of my success, my mindset, my growth. And so I am at the point of self-actualization, or I have experienced this point because I'm at the next stage now. So most people watching this, you're watching this, you probably aren't here just yet. You're probably a little bit over here. So you're probably in either stage 3 or stage 2. And you might actually be in stage 1. I hope you're not in stage 1, but if you are, that's why I made my coaching for free. So the top link in this description, I'll literally help you for free. There's no strings attached. I'm not selling anything to you. I will do a one-to-one call with you every week, and I'll just walk you through the exact process. I'll give you advice in your life. This is a very, very like depressing, like I've been there myself, and it's not where I want anyone to be. So you're probably there. Maybe you're in stage 2, maybe you're in stage 3. Not many people are on stage 4. If you're watching self-improvement videos, you're not really on stage 4, but you are getting close. You're on the right path. And so you can see that this is the 4th stage of the cult. Now, I haven't really explained the cult fully just yet, but you'll see on the next one. So self-actualization stage 4, this is so good to be in because your metaphorical cup is full. You've been filling your cup is full to the brim. At this point, you're enjoying the fruits of your labor. You've been working hard, you're feeling confident. Everyone else is actually confident in you because they've seen the huge progress that you've made. Everyone has seen the progress in you. And so if that sounds realistic, maybe you're at this stage. If you're thinking right now, like, nah, like I'm not incredibly happy with myself, and most people don't actually know that I'm on self-improvement, you're on one of the earlier stages. But stage 4, this is when you start to feel abundant. That's why this stage is so important, and it links to the next stage, because at this point your cup is full. You could stop here, but I found that if you went through the self-improvement journey, you have like a bit of a philosophical change, especially if you're following me and you're learning from me. You can have this change where you're starting to think, you know what, I am abundant in everything I'm doing now, and that means I've got more than enough. So why would I just stay with more than enough? Why would I just keep filling my cup that's already full, when what I can do is the people around me who I love, I can help them fill their cups too. That's why this gets very, very beautiful. Finally, stage 5. Stage 5 is recruitment. At this point, you're already abundant, you filled your cup, you feel like all your needs are met, you're confident, and now you want to start helping people because you're doing as much as you can for yourself. So you're like, okay, if I help people, not only would, the world get better, but even on a selfish, hedonistic level, I know for a fact if I help people, I would also be better. Like my potential would actually be suddenly increased by so much more. The amount of responsibility I could take would be severely increased. And so this is the point where you recruit people onto self-improvement. You have been setting an example. You went from little Jeffrey here, little skinny Jeffrey, and now you're like big boy. Like I don't even know how to draw Adonis, but you're like big boy Adonis with all the big muscles. And the thing is, you've went through this transformation. You're setting a fantastic example for everyone else. Now it's time. You can start this earlier. You can start recruitment earlier, but this is the time where it will be best because 1, people will look up to you, so they'll follow what you say. And 2, you'll actually have like the real knowledge to fully help people instead of just being on a basic level of saying, hey, you should be trying self-improvement. You can tell them exactly what to do because you've been doing it for long enough. And so at this point, you're now going to start recruiting other people onto self-improvement. I want you to think what this looks like right now. Everyone goes through these stages, right? So at the top, the first person in this cult was me, Hamza. I went through the stages. Stage 0 before self-improvement, and now I'm on stage 5 where I'm helping other people, right? So through my help of other people, I have now essentially recruited more people into the cult through the coaching and the help and the YouTube. So let's say now I've got F.A. Jan, I've got Sam the editor, say hi Sam, and I've got Riley. Boom. So I've recruited these guys into self-improvement and into the cult. I've brought them into the cult because my cup's already full. So I thought, you know what, Sam, give me a cup. I'm going to help you fill it because you've been spilling this shit everywhere, Sam. Come on. You got Parkinson's or something, Sam? Let me hold it steady for you. I'll help you. I'll pour it with some of mine. This is what you do, and this is true leadership. It's not just the boss who tells you, go fill your cup up. The leader grabs his cup and he says, you know what, I've got enough. Let me give you some of mine since you keep spilling it like a retard, Sam. There you go. So I brought Sam into this and he's going through his stages. So as Sam goes through his stages, he's going to then start to eventually recruit his people into self-improvements. So now there's another group of young men who Sam has recruited. And guess what? These people are going to go through their transformation and they're going to recruit other people into self-improvement. So what does this look like to anyone who's watching this who might go on Reddit quite a lot and who looks at scams? This is a multi-level marketing. This is multi-level marketing. And multi-level marketing is usually a scam. It's like the joke that your dad sells Avon, where you start with like the big people. And what they do is it's almost a scam where they tell other people, like, you know, the basic peasants on Facebook. This is when your like old friend on Facebook messages you that they've got a business opportunity. So it's that they make money only when they recruit other people who then recruit other people who then recruit other people. This is the first multi-level marketing strategy that you've ever seen, which is purely positive. It's literally we're recruiting other people into self-improvements. Soon enough, we're going to have... Imagine if every single person does this. I've helped these guys, these 3 guys. Now each of them has invited 3 guys. And now we've got, like, each person has got 3 people who are on self-improvement and therefore, like, essentially they're coaching them. And Sam's already been doing this, which shows you don't need to be at the ultimate point of self-actualization to just start talking about self-improvement, to start, you know, mentioning it, trying to help your friends. But you will be so much more effective at it after you've reached a very, very good point of progress. This stage, when you're recruiting other people, we'll write recruitment. How will you recruit? The whole point is you're going to recruit people. You're going to recruit probably young men. You can recruit young women and you can recruit parents or whatever, but it's probably going to be young men because you will completely understand their struggle. So how are you going to do that? You're going to do it through one-to-one calls, messaging. This is how I started. I did one-to-one self-improvement coaching. I made that my business. I made a living from it, but now I do it completely for free because I've seen that, like, the transformation that guys can go through. So you first start with one-to-one, and this gives you quite a lot of fulfillment. You make progress. You recruit a decent amount of people into self-improvement. You're feeling good, and you know you've got like a small group of guys who respect you, but eventually it's not enough. It's not enough. The amount of people you can help on one-to-one is not enough. And so what you need to do at this stage, if you want to change the world and you want to get a lot of people onto self-improvement, you need to start thinking about scale. How could you recruit more guys onto self-improvement? How could you get more guys meditating, working out, journaling, instead of just one-to-one? Because one-to-one's limited to your time. You've only got a certain amount of time, and obviously you can only really do a one-to-one at this point with like your close friends. You need scale. And scale comes from the internet. And so this is the very nice moment, and this is why being in the cult and going through these stages is going to be very, very beneficial for you. Because at this point, when you're going to scale the recruitments, comes entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship, if you don't know, it's kind of like being a lifetime businessman who focuses on solving problems and monetizing it. So before all of this, you were just helping your friends because, you know, you wanted to help your friends, right? You realize that you don't have enough friends to help. Like, after a while, you've gave them the information, you've told them to meditate. Now, you don't have many other people that you can actually pass this on to. This is the huge life-changing moment, and this is what changed my life the most out of all these stages, is scaling the help and using entrepreneurship. And what this just means is now you're going to be using content creation, which in another word literally just means get onto social media, preferably, let's say, YouTube. That's what I did. Yours could be different because I know some people, like, you know, they vibe with Instagram or whatever, but let's say YouTube, right? So at this stage, copy me. Literally, copy me. Do exactly what I have done. So you can see you are literally in one of the earliest stages of my cult, of my multi-level marketing strategy. And eventually there's going to be a point when you've actually started leveling up and you've almost created your own tribe. You've created your own group of guys who are on self-improvement, who aren't fapping as much, who aren't playing as much video games. You can now take the leadership position yourself into your group, start content creation, start getting active on YouTube and making videos almost exactly the same as mine. Like I'll make you this promise right now. You can literally copy my videos, use the exact same title. Obviously, what's going to happen is that you're going to use the same title, but inside of the video, it's going to be your own personality. It's going to be your thought process. And so that makes it unique, because you're probably thinking, like, oh, I've got nothing original to say about this. Everything's been said. Yeah, everything has been said. There's nothing original anymore. Most of my videos are literally just, I've taken ideas from other people and I just say it in my words, and it's been working because people just want to hear it from your word. Only a certain amount of stuff exists. And so what you'll just be doing is re-saying, meditate, journal, exercise. But the way that you say it will trigger the minds of people who are similar to you. And so then you're going to be benefiting from it. Then you're going to be the leader of this group. I invite you at this stage to copy the exact niche I've got and to copy the purpose as well. So niche literally just means like what audience you're making it for. And what I have done, which it would work with you, is young men's self-improvements. That's going to be your content creation niche. So you're going to make videos aimed at young guys to help them to get onto self-improvement. You're going to teach them because you've been through it yourself. And think about how powerful that is. To make a living from something like YouTube, to grow and to get people into your audience, you must be able to be so relatable to anyone who's watching you. That's the reason why you're watching all of this video so far. You haven't clicked off. You've been giving me your full attention because you relate so much to exactly what I say and how I say it. So you're vibing with me. And that's because I have experienced life as you. Like, I know we like to think that we're so unique and stuff, but the thing is, most of our problems are roughly the same. And whatever self-improvement problem you have, chances are I've experienced it myself, or I've helped someone with it. And that's why my videos seem so targeted and so specific to your situation. And when guys speak to me, it's like they keep saying, oh, it literally felt like you weren't even speaking to an audience, you were speaking to me. That's the effect, because I've been there. When you're at this stage of recruitment, you're at stage 5 recruitment, you've been there yourself. Your niche, which you could grow in, you could make a living in, is young men's self-improvements. So at this point, when you start this content creation, think about that. This becomes your business. This becomes your entrepreneurship. This becomes like a passive stream of income where you've become like a YouTuber, a leader, and you can literally copy the exact business model I've done, which is like, what you do is you start with free videos. I'll help anyone who wants to like learn more about this. I'll just help you and teach you what you do. But you start with free videos, you give them free value, just focusing on value. That's the most important thing. You focus on value, and then you give them life-changing help, and eventually you make money from this because you monetize like a product or service. So I did coaching and I made people pay for that. Now I'm doing that for free because I can find like other ways to make money, and I know I don't really need much money right now because I'm privileged to live at home with my parents. You'll be able to, let's say, charge for coaching, and people will pay. And if you're like quite a young guy, I can promise you that you've never made more money than you're making coaching, because you can charge essentially what you want and people will pay it because you're solving a priceless problem. In entrepreneurship, it's this idea of, okay, you don't charge for like what you think you're worth. You don't charge for what you're selling. You charge for the benefit that they get, and the benefit that they get from something like self-improvement coaching is coming out of depression. It's coming out of that big ass rut, and that's priceless. And so this becomes your business. You follow this self-improvement, you follow this cult plan that I've got from all these stages. And oh yeah, I didn't even mention, but what we do, who do you recruit? So stage 5 recruitment, all of this, right? Well, what you do, the reason why I mentioned stage 0 earlier, at that stage of recruitment, you recruit these guys in stage 0. So it all works out. So this is what the cult is about, is that I help you to go through these stages. You reach the point of self-actualization through self-improvement, through hopefully like quite significantly through my help. You start recruiting other people, other young men, and get them onto self-improvement too. And so there might be one question really that you have, which is, why? Why are you doing all this, Hamza? Why? Okay, you want more people into self-improvement, but that's weird. Why? I want more friends. I want more guys who are on self-improvement, who are on a dopamine detox. I want more girls. I want to date a girl who isn't addicted to social media. I want to start a revolution, like a whole new generation of people who push away from normal life of just being consumed by the screen and by entertainment. I want a generation of people who meditate, because when I speak to someone who meditates, I feel alive. I want a whole group of people who read How to Win Friends and Influence People, because when I use those principles on other people, I've seen how happy they get. And I would love to speak to someone. I would love to for someone who have read that book to listen to what I have to say. And it's quite lonely when you're at this stage right now. You're on a dopamine detox, and I'm at the point of self-actualization. It's quite lonely because there isn't many other people here with me. So I'm throwing down the rope. I'm at the top of the bucket, and I'm giving you my arm, because it would be so much nicer if I had another crab by my side at the top of the bucket, and we're pulling all the little peasant crabs out of the bucket together. That's the point of this cult. I hope you'll join me. If anything's not clear, just leave a comment and I'll try and expand, because this is quite a big concept, but this is pretty much it. So maybe, leave a comment actually, and just tell me, what stage are you in? Because I'm assuming that you are going to be in stage 2 or 3. I'm thinking that you're watching this right now, you're probably in stage 2 or 3, but let me know. And you can see now that's the point. This is what we do. I'm just trying to help you through all this, get you to the point where you filled your cup and you can start helping other guys fill their cup too. And this is going to be literally the most positive, happy, friendly cult to have ever exist. And it all starts with your self-improvements. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it.